The opinions in this podcast are solely those of the creators and do not reflect the opinions of the filmmakers involved. If you are of legal drinking age, feel free to have a drink with us, but please do drink responsibly. You're listening to Cole-astic Cinema.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I'd like to take his face off.
With your host, Fabian Salazar.
How hard can writing a musical be?
And Cole Butterfield.
Hummus is wearing flip-flops.
Where we talk about movies, most of the time.
Back with his girlfriend while cleaning up massive amounts of blood and shit.
And getting his salad tossed.
So come along for a ride and have fun.
Welcome to the new episode where we are going to be watching Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. This movie was directed by Lloyd Kaufman and was released in 2006. If you don't know who Lloyd Kaufman is, he is one of the kings of trash movies, known as the creator of Troma Entertainment. They're a very fun distributor. If you like really dumb B movies that are just over the top and ridiculous, he is your man. And he's one of my favorite directors. I have his book, Make Your Own Damn Movie, about just like, you know, being an independent filmmaker. And yeah, he's really smart. He went to Yale, actually. And and he makes movies like this, so you know he's doing it because he loves it, not because he has to. But I recommend this movie if you're a fan of just trash movies. This is a really fun one that I actually got me into watching Lloyd Kaufman, besides Toxic Avenger, and it's all around really fun. And I don't know, what do you got?
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Hi, MJ.
I know nothing of Troma film, Lloyd Kaufman, anything like that. The huge cult following that this and other movies like it seem to have, I had no idea. So I went to go do some research, and about 5 minutes in, I decided to just completely stop what I was doing because I kind of felt like, well, first of all, because it was like a wormhole, because it was connecting things to other things I had no idea about. So it's like, okay, so well, what's this? Like a Troma film. Like I had no idea that was even a term. I thought maybe you were just mispronouncing the word trauma. I don't know. But just to find out this whole thing that's been going on for, what is it, like 30, 45 years now?
Yeah, I think Toxic Avenger was released in like 1984 or something.
Yeah. So it's been going on for decades. Had no idea about, haven't even heard of it, and I like the reminder that this movie came out in 2006 because I watched the trailer for it, and the trailer does not play off like it's a movie from 2006, which I imagine is the point.
Yeah.
But like I have a feeling that's something I'll be reminding myself about this entire time. Like, this is 2006, because just it looks and feels like it's like a dated older movie, but it's 2006. 2006. About zombie chickens.
To give you a little rundown, here's the synopsis. In a fast food joint built on an ancient burial ground, zombified chickens mount a campaign of bloody revenge against the workers frying them. So yeah, it's a fast food restaurant, and and nobody really, I mean, in true Troma form, nobody really sees the weird, gross, pulsating eggs, and then they serve them to people, and then zombie chickens rise up. So it's if that doesn't get you on board, this movie probably isn't for you. But if you love that dumb, like, oh fuck, zombie chickens, let's go. This movie was made for $500,000, and its opening weekend only made $10,000 back, and its overall gross was $13,000. Worldwide gross was $22,000. So as far as bombs go, it's not that bad. It was under $1 million, and
there is that.
It definitely bombed, but as a Troma movie, it succeeded in getting its cult following.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, this is a Troma movie.
Yeah. those numbers surprised me because it was fairly easy to pull this movie up, just like, and get information. Well, not necessarily information as much as just a deep dive into a wormhole that you're not sure you really want to go down into.
Oh, Troma movies are it only gets worse from here. This is actually really tame.
That's kind of what I got, actually, just from the trailer. Because I watched trailers to other ones just to kind of get a sense. I'm like, oh, all right, this seems like a softer entry point, if there is a soft entry point, I mean, for movies like this.
Yeah, I'd start with like this or like Toxic Avenger, because if you go straight into like Terror Firmer, you're going to be scared away.
Yeah. Watch the trailer for Terra Firma after this. Had I reversed that, that would have. No. I'm gonna text you saying like, hey man, maybe
not.
Like I mentioned earlier off mic, I had a bit of a long weekend. It was St. Patrick's weekend, to put a time stamp on this, and I work at a brewery, and it was exhausting. So, but that's also kind of the reason why I chose this. We were talking previously about either doing, Poultrygeist or The Exorcist. And after a long weekend, I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for, extreme, Catholicism and mothers sucking cocks in hell.
Yeah.
So let's go with
the movie that you can just get drunk and turn your brain off and be like, this is fucking ridiculous.
Zombie chickens. That I...
Lloyd Kaufman's most recent movie, I think, was said which was his last one, Shakespeare Shitstorm.
Watch the trailer for that.
I really want to see. Haven't seen it yet. Which at some point I'll just have to pull it up because it looks really fun. It was made in 2020. Getting back to Poultrygeist, a really fun bit in this movie, everybody's named after a different fast food restaurant.
I read that. We've got like a Arby,
Wendy,
Carl Jr.,
Colonel Sanders. So it's Paco Bell.
Yeah, Paco Bell. Paco Bell, saw that.
Yeah, it's really dumb and really funny. Now,
with all the amateur writing I do in my off hours, that's the kind of stuff I do, so I thoroughly appreciate details like that.
Yeah, it's also a musical.
Yeah, you did not tell me that. I found that out when I started initially doing research. The trailer gave no hint of that whatsoever, but it's just like, horror, comedy, musical. What?
It was also one of my reasons I wanted to get you into Troma movies and why this is a really good one. I mean, it's like, I know you're a big music guy.
Oh yeah, huge musical fan. Like you know this about me. Longtime listeners know that I just go on and on and on about the nuances of Sondheim's lyrics and how specific they are, and then comparing it to Andrew Lloyd Webber and how everything's just like borderline an opera and also really kind of just lame because Cats sucked. Longtime listeners know this. Musicals definitely intrigue me. But this is I don't know. Like I'm definitely more intrigued. I'll be honest. I am more intrigued knowing that it's a musical. I kind of want to know how it all fits in. But I found myself questioning musicals recently because of the news of. But also to put his timestamp on this on Joker 2. Being a musical with Lady Gaga.
I didn't know it was a musical.
That's something like, it was like rumors. I don't know if they're entirely doing that. They might be, but that seems to be like last I read up on. They're like, oh yeah, Joker 2, the musical. I was like, we're gonna have Lady Gaga.
Okay, I'm for it. Like I'm for a Joker musical. That would be cool, especially with Lady Gaga. Like, holy shit.
I mean, Lady Gaga, she's an incredible talent. I mean, both vocally and acting wise. Like, I had no idea, but
yeah, Juilliard alum.
I mean, and for Cole personally, it sounds like the perfect if they make this movie, if they do an amazing Joker musical, I can die.
Yeah, I think that's one we'll have to do a live episode.
We'll have to do a live episode because after that, I'm gonna have to die. It's like, okay, Cole's reached peak happiness. He got a Joker musical,
a comic book musical. That's not Spider-Man.
That's not.
Oh, Spider-Man.
With you, fucking Bono. With you two doing. Fucking. And that's why I'm on the fence about musicals, and I'm on the fence about this, because like even the trailer, it doesn't. on top of all this, on top of zombie chickens, all right, and just like B-movie horror, on top of all that, we're going to throw in songs.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if Buffy can do it, then...
There we go.
Even then, that Buffy musical episode was really hard to get through. Even though I was loving every second of it and smiling the entire time, like,
Big ass dumb smile.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
like,
that.
oh.
I love when shows make you do that.
It's like, that was so
Yeah.
bad, but I can't stop smiling.
So let's see. There was something I was gonna. Oh yeah. So we're gonna go from Poultrygeist, take a quick tangent, and talk about the Oscars. I wanted to talk about the Oscars a little bit off mic, but I wanted to save it for the podcast. I am really, really, really happy for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, dude.
I was
Just Michelle Yeoh alone getting,
getting the Best Actress, and they got the Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress,
Yeah.
Best Original Screenplay, or Best Picture, Best Cinematography. Like, it's that movie. Yeah, it deserved it. I really need to see it.
Well, it's weird. Something I find interesting about the movie is I also have not seen it, but to weirdly have the opinion to just like no, like this movie needs to have like win those awards, and to have them actually win them. Like, yes, it should have won. Now I really need to see it.
Yeah, I tried watching it before the Oscars, the week before the Oscars, but it was only on Amazon for rent, and I didn't want to rent it. I was like, okay, I should have though. I really should have. But yeah, as much of a stickler as I am for Mad Max Fury Road, I was sitting there like, all right, as long as it doesn't win more than 6 Oscars. And they get 5, it's like, okay. And then 6, I'm like, oh, okay, no. And then it also gets Best Picture. Like, I'm really happy, but also, fuck! Beat Mad Max. But I'm really happy for him. Way to be Davids. You guys did an amazing job, and I can't wait to watch that movie.
I cannot wait either. No, I've been a fan of Michelle Yeoh for a while. Just especially, I mean, mostly I got my introduction like I think a fair amount of people did with Crouching Tiger.
Yeah.
And just knowing, like doing her own stunts, like alongside Jackie Chan in her earlier work, and then it's just like, oh my god, hell yeah, what an amazing story.
It's a cool side note. Like, she's not classically trained in martial arts. Like,
No shit.
yeah. Everything she knows is from film choreography, and she fucking kills it.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Found my new form of exercise.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I gotta learn like martial arts or like fencing or something. The only reason I want to learn how to fence is so I can fight with lightsabers.
Oh, I just want to learn how to fence so I can justify my overuse of the word touche.
There you go. Perfect.
It's like, it's okay. No. It's okay. I'm a fencer. It's something weird.
No, I fence. It's okay. I can
fence,
say
it's
touche.
okay.
And here's going a little bit deeper down in the rabbit hole. I want a curved hilt lightsaber.
Curved hilt.
I mean, I kind of want like the one that Starkiller has with like the prongs and everything.
I mean, that one is tight.
It is really cool, but I also like the Count Dooku, the fencing style, but with the curved hilt.
Curved hilt,
And like
more
Darth Bane.
dramatic kind of like flourishes.
Yeah, and it makes you unexpected with your moves because it's you're hitting at a different angle. But as far as like hilts and like actual lightsabers go, I'm kind of I don't really know. But with my actual blade color, straight up purple.
Purple. Well, shit.
Yeah, let's go purple. I've always loved the purple lightsaber. One, I'm a huge Sam Jackson fan.
I mean, how could you not be?
And also, like, it's the perfect balance. It's the balance between blue and red. It is the balance of the Force. It's purple.
I mean, not this is a Star Wars podcast, but that does really play well into Mace Windu's character as a whole, with the whole because I can't quite remember the name of his fighting style, but pretty much like, or his Force fighting. Yeah.
Sorry,
I
I am showing a lot of my
Vapod.
nerd today.
That's right, Vapod. Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
I'm being a fucking dick
God,
today.
man, shit. The nerd flexes are hard up in this bitch right now. Oh,
Don't judge me on Star Wars.
Jesus.
Get my Star Wars in.
Talking about Vapod up in this motherfucker. We're talking about fighting styles.
Talking about Form 5, 6. I don't know.
Or is it Form
I don't
7?
know, like, the
I know
forms.
Obi-Wan does like Form 3, the most
Yeah,
like defensive. Like
Sarisu. And then Anakin does augmented Form 4 or something to Gem. So I know the names of them. I just don't know what exactly, like, what number the style is.
Oh, you're such a fucking nerd.
I know.
Speaking of nerdum, I found a comic book connection.
That being
Lord
said,
Kaufman?
as much of a Star Wars nerd as I am, I still like the sequels. I still like everything Star Wars. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna be mad that they're making new Star Wars shit. Let's get new Star Wars shit.
I mean, yeah.
I'm happy. Let's go.
My only
Come
problem
on.
is fuel. Fuel. Why is fuel now a thing? We've got space wizards. Why? But okay, so you can't power your stupid fucking starship because you're out of fuel, but you have all the fuel in the smaller starships. No one's heard of siphoning gas at this point in fucking time. So you have no fuel to escape, but you can send fucking people to fucking space Vegas.
I don't have a problem with fuel. I think that makes sense. But
Okay, no, it does make sense, but it's just.
but you're not going to lose momentum in space
Yeah,
because
no.
you don't have fuel.
Yeah, no.
Like you're gonna that's how a vacuum works. Like you're not gonna slow down because you no longer have fuel. You're gonna keep that same speed unless the Empire like, okay, cool, they're out of fuel, now we can gas them. Like that makes sense, but no, nobody talks about it. We're almost out of fuel. Cool. What happens then? We keep going at the same exact speed we've been going. It's fucking space. That's my only gripe.
That and unnecessary detour to Space Vegas. It's unnecessary. Didn't need it.
I mean, yeah, but it was cool to kind of expand the universe and get to see Benicio.
I mean,
And like it gave Rose a little bit more stretching, like, hey, and it kind of expanded Finn's mind, being like, yeah, you might think it's beautiful, but you don't know what it's like in the underground because he's been a stormtrooper. He doesn't know what these people have been going through. So I like it for character development.
Character development, which is then immediately thrown away when like freaking Finn's about to fucking help win the battle, do some shit, and then fucking Rose just comes in. And it's like, this is not how we win. It's like, no, you were about to fucking win.
I did agree with that. That would have been a good end to Finn's story arc. And
Hell of a fucking way to send him off. They could have
yeah.
capitalized more on the Space Vegas stuff if he had went out like learning all this stuff, kind of like going from being a stormtrooper. Like it's an incredible journey for the character, and then just go out like that with the rebellion, like just completely like bookending how he started off as a character.
And he ends up dying saving the rebellion. That would have been a good end to his arc, but and he is kind of wasted in The Last Jedi. Like he deserved better, and he really did. I think they could have done better with, but this isn't a Star Wars podcast.
This is a Star Wars podcast.
I mean, we are talking about a movie, and we are talking about movies, but again, let's move on from Star Wars.
Kind of. I do have a comic book connection for this movie.
Okay,
Lloyd Kaufman was friends with Stan Lee.
that makes sense. I can see
Stan Lee is one of his. He likes all Troma movies, but his favorite one is the Kabuki Man.
I haven't seen Kabuki Man.
I didn't know there was a thing until I watched an interview and they did a brief, like, 30-second clip.
You know what? It's really fun watching like Troma movies, watching like the Toxic Avenger and like Poultrygeist and like Terra Firma, being like, this is just fucking trash. Like this is crazy. And then like watching an interview with Lloyd Kaufman and understanding like how smart he is and how much he knows about the film industry.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
like,
something stuff.
It's insane. Like he's like, and another like just to put the nail in the coffin, like he knows what he's doing. This is what he wants to do, and and you should have fun doing what you're doing. And he'd never. I would argue he barely works a day in his life.
Oh yeah, no.
Like,
Something Stan Lee said is like you think he's kind of this silly, ridiculous person, but like he's like fluent in Chinese. And actually, Stan Lee wanted to do a comic book hero kind of based on Kabuki Man. And they also always talked about writing a movie together, but they never had the time because whenever they were free, it's like Lloyd Kaufman was off like in another country doing stuff like that. It's like, so clearly a very like smart and talented individual just based on the limited research I did that I immediately had to cut myself off from doing because I don't want to know too much going into this movie.
Yeah, and it absolutely blew my mind finding out that he graduated from Yale.
That is insane.
Yeah, it was like he makes movies like this, and he's it honestly like it blew my mind, but it's also that is like peak my mindset. Like, yeah, I graduated from one of the most prestigious universities, and I'm making movies that are basically a big middle finger to the entire industry.
Oh
like, yeah, I can make Oscar-worthy movies, but you know what? Fuck you.
Especially with like the interviews and like a man who's very Nope. Wow, like we've said, but very intelligent and very observant about the industry as a whole.
Speaking of, so keeping on this Lloyd Kaufman train, two of his or not influences, two people that take heavy influence from Lloyd Kaufman. One, Trey Parker.
Yes.
He's and Lloyd Kaufman actually helped distribute some of Trey Parker and Matt Stone's early movies, like Orgasmo and Cannibal the Musical.
Yeah, no, I read that.
Yeah, and he's the other person I'll mention in just a minute, but Trey Parker has an entire section in the beginning of Lloyd Kaufman's book, saying like when they met and how they got Cannibal the Musical distributed and everything, and like they took him to Taco Bell or something, and Lloyd Kaufman was just eating burritos like, this is a good burrito. So you guys want distribution, huh? It's so perfect. And then the other one, James Gunn.
Actually, okay, that explains the Sean Gunn connection I saw in one of the movies I was looking, because I just started just clicking on like movie after movie after movie, just look, and then I saw Sean Gunn was in one of them. I think it was, actually, I'll be honest, I don't remember off the top of my head right now, but yeah, James Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn. What's the word I'm looking for? But James Gunn loves Lloyd Kaufman and is one of his biggest influencers, and like you can see it in his earlier work, like Slither, like just the old like space slugs and practical effects is like, yeah, no, I can see that for sure. And he's also got a big contribution piece in the beginning of Lloyd Kaufman's book, saying like how he loved him and how he influenced him and helped him out early in his career.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Well, apparently in this movie, Trey Parker and Matt Stone are supposed to make cameos as the parents of Arby.
I can see that.
But the scene was scrapped eventually.
Unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, fortunate. Yeah, that's like the only note I've got is the Stanley connection. This is a musical, 3 question marks. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, and then, oh God, what am I in for? And that's exactly when I just decided to just step away from the computer and do my laundry instead.
So backpedaling just a little bit. So like I was saying, like early Trey Parker, Matt Stone. Like, have you seen Orgasmo?
Yes.
Yeah, it's about the superhero porn star.
Superhero porn star
who is a Mormon missionary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Lloyd Kaufman's in it. He's in the very end. So after they beat the bad guy and Orgasmo makes him blow his testicles up from coming so much.
Yeah.
If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, please go watch Orgasmo. It's very fun.
Off that hook alone.
So so the bad guy's in the doctor's office, and the doctor that's examining him, his balls and everything, and telling him he'll never be able to come again is Lloyd Kaufman.
Well, holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an awesome. Cool. That's an awesome connection. Then I say, okay. Wow, I wonder if there's.
He does a lot of Hitchcock type stuff where he plays a character in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's never like you never feel like it's forced. It's always really funny. He always, like in Terror Firmer, he's the blind movie director, and then in this one, I don't want to ruin this one for you, but he's in this movie. He's in this movie, but he's also very prominent in Shakespeare's Shitstorm and a lot of the movies he does.
I did see that in the trailer for Shakespeare Shitstorm, which as soon as I saw that, I'm like, well, how am I not going to click on this? Okay, what? Oh, damn it! Fabian's gonna make me watch this, isn't he?
At some point, I will, for sure.
You just drunkenly do a bit of fucking Hamlet in front of a motherfucker, and before you know it, you're watching goddamn shit's okay.
So, let's see. There's another Lloyd Kaufman. But so I don't remember what horror or movie documentary, like behind the scenes series I was watching, but they got it was probably one of the ones on Shudder. Plug. But they got an interview with Lloyd Kaufman, but it was in the middle of the filming of Shakespeare's Shitstorm, so he's just in full drag doing an interview for a documentary, and it's fucking perfect. You can see him behind the scenes, and then they do a stunt where they like crash a car into shit, and Lloyd's like, is everybody okay? Okay, this is why I hate doing shit like that, because it's expensive and we can get sued. But he's just in full drag. and they go back to the interviews. It's like, yeah, making movies.
Yeah. Because from what I can tell in the trailer, he plays like some sort of mad scientist and the mad scientist's sister.
Yeah.
So like look like large chunks of just him in full drag.
I love that he works with his wife a lot. Like his wife,
Yeah.
I think his wife helps him write or something. But I love that they're a team, and they just make movies like this. I love that they're both just on board for ridiculous shit. That's what I would look for in a relationship. Hey, I'm gonna make a movie about zombie chickens that has to do with making fun of the fast food industry. Okay, cool. Let me help you write that. I was like, really? Oh, baby, you're the best.
That's love. Ooh. Hashtag life goals. Find somebody who will write a movie about zombified chickens. And from what I could tell from the trailer, there seems to be like a political angle.
Yeah, you'll see it. I won't get into it. But you'll see it a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like the problem with I'm gonna say the problem with this, but the interesting thing about this, like with other movies, we could talk about certain things going into this. Where with a movie like this, I feel like the less questions asked beforehand, the better.
Yeah, and also I'm gonna put a disclaimer: if you are going to watch this movie, it is incredibly non-politically correct. It's offensive for the sake of being offensive. If you're easily if you're easily upset by stuff like that, I'd say don't watch this movie. But if you're like thinking, hey, Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead, a movie about chicken zombies, I don't think you're gonna be that offended by it. But there are a couple bits where it's like, holy shit, that's woo, hello, that's
and that's the real horror.
That's the real horror.
That's the actually scary thing.
Those scary
real
things.
Life politics in a world
filled with politics
and zombie chickens.
One man
named after a restaurant
struggles the fight against racism.
Ooh, let's continue off of that.
All right, let's go.
No. I've already been canceled at work. I'm not getting canceled here.
Damn. Okay, so we are just about reaching the half-hour mark. If you're still with us, we are about to watch Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead, directed by Lloyd Kaufman. Really fun B movie, and we're gonna get into it. All right, Cole.
That man's got a chicken face.
He don't have a chicken face. All right, let's play the ads.
If I had one.
And we're back, and that was Poultrygeist.
Holy shit. Okay.
Most people can't, and it's understandable. Getting into Troma movies, I mean, it's a very, very middle ground Troma movie for sure. I mean, there are some movies that are, I want to say, more tame than Poultrygeist, but there are a lot of Troma movies that are like, Jesus Christ, oh wow, okay, I don't understand what's happening. And if you don't get it, like, watching Poultrygeist is kind of the middle ground, where if you watch Poultrygeist, you kind of get like, okay, yeah, they do not take themselves seriously at all, and it's not meant to be dissected. And we're gonna bring it up, or I'm gonna bring it up later. I don't want to talk about it right now, but being offensive for the sake of being offensive. And
yes, there were definitely a fair amount of times where it's slow, like ooh.
Yeah. So initial reactions. This is probably like the 6th, 7th time I've watched this movie. Initial reactions coming from you watching it for the first time.
Oh, okay. Initial reactions. Tried to write them down. Couldn't. Actually, okay, no. Initial reaction is you said turn off your brain while watching this movie.
Absolutely.
As soon as it started, my brain automatically kicked on.
It's hard because you want to be like, all right, what are we watching? What is this? What's the point? And then as soon as it starts with the cemetery, the main characters are fucking in a cemetery.
Yeah, it starts off with dry humping in a cemetery.
You're like, oh,
it's like
yeah. That's why I told you immediately turn your brain off. Do not try to analyze
It's a
anything
hell.
that's happening.
It's a hell of a cold open.
Yeah. And then so for those of you who haven't seen this movie, the two main characters are having sex in a cemetery on an ancient burial ground, ancient Native American burial ground, and they're going at it, and then zombie hands start rising and caressing them, and they're like, "Oh my god, your hands are all over me!" And then one zombie hand shoves its middle finger up Arby's ass. Arby is the main character. Shoves its middle finger up Arby's ass, and he thinks it's a butt plug, so he's just enjoying the shit out of it. And if you are not on board now, you better fucking get on board, because that is the tamest moment in this movie.
Oh yeah, so it immediately asks that you be on board with what's about to go on and what's about to go down. It's like we have two characters dry humping, talking about
dry humping in a cemetery.
Dry humping in a cemetery, which I was a teenager. I'm not one to judge. We've dry humped in weird places. Anyone who says otherwise, stop lying to yourself.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Before you get to that point of actually going all the way.
Yeah, you do some weird shit in some weird spots when you're teenagers. I mean, there was a stint in the back of a minivan I had when I was 16, so it was it's an interesting spot when you're closing towards the graduation age. But anyway,
but also to tie it in further into that, this is also taking place with a man taking a fast food job.
A fast food job to impress his lesbian liberal left-wing girlfriend. I'm gonna have to let me redo that for a sec. The protagonist is taking a fast food job to essentially impress or piss off or like
it is.
I don't know.
So before he takes a job, he has a song breaking down his reasoning why he's going to take the job.
Right.
Which is to impress or
like win back his liberal lesbian college.
Well, now lesbian. It changed after one semester. Like it was very, very key. Very, very key before they changed it. Like from going from the graveyard, they were talking about it like pseudo pillow talk. Like how one semester is not going to change a person.
One semester isn't going to change me in college, and then when they meet back up after one semester of college, she's dating this girl and is conducting protests at this fast food restaurant that our protagonist is going to it's the opening, and then he ends up getting a job.
Well, that's another thing.
To spite her.
To spite her
and try to win her back. So he's spiting her and trying to win her back by working in this fast food restaurant.
That's another thing that turned my brain on about what is it trying to say? What is it talking about after like one semester in college and then being like the boyfriend in a hometown when the girlfriend went somewhere else. She came back after a semester is visiting.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, so what is the message?
And again, I told you, there is no message.
I know, but my brain would not shut off. Watching The Unbearable Weight, and it's like, oh no, I'm just going to shut down and watch a fucking movie. Which had a nominally higher budget, actors that have been in like huge movies.
You got $1 million budget versus
$1 million budget,
$500,000.
Half a mil versus a multi-million-dollar movie.
Yeah.
Multi-million-dollar movie, I'm like, oh, okay.
But again, that being said, the small budget of this movie, trying to hang on. I think my levels I gotta get close. Oh shit, it got changed. Hang on. Yeah, it's been sounding like I've been talking far away, but no. But talking about the budget for this movie, like the practical special effects in this movie are nonsense, and you can tell. Like, and then the crash at the end when they crash the car,
Yeah.
You can tell exactly where the budget went to.
Oh yeah, actually, that was one of the first things I wrote, started right down is the majority of the of the money for the film go just to the opening, just the title card itself, where it just seems to be like 2006. That's the only part of the movie that lets you know it was in 2000. Well, not the only part.
Yeah,
There's a lot of references that let you like.
Oh my god!
Aware of the
Pumas.
time period.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, pretty much all my notes are on the fact that like this is just reminding me of 2006.
Well, it's not only the reminder, but like, yeah, like the time period, the reminder, but in that time period, like, how do we be offensive in 2006?
Oh.
And it is, and it's a big point. We'll get into it in a little bit. Not yet, but the being offensive for the sake of being offensive. And we're going to continue on this bit with 2006, and the 2006 references are mint. Like, it's like you can easily tell. It's like, okay, yeah, with the 9/11 and the Paco Bell and everything that's going around. You're like, all right, this is an early 2000s movie. I can feel that.
Oh yeah, a lot of callbacks to things like, so I was 15 at the time this came out. A lot of callbacks to the things that were just being talked about at the time, which I had kind of forgotten. So this is a fun little, like, kind of just blast to the past, re-immersion back into being a much younger Cole with all the references, while still having the movie looking like it's not from 2006. I remember what movies looked like in 2006.
It's the like mid 80s.
Yeah, it's like mid 80s style of everything.
Old cameras, old recordings, and this is one of the biggest bits that I've always hyped on with this movie and a couple Troma movies, but the ADR, like
the ADR abound.
Everybody, like, none of the dialogue is recorded on set, and you can tell, like, it's so crazy. Like, it's like when they're talking, it's like, okay, maybe they got that on set that day, but like, especially like the reactions of no, it's so blatant. Like, they did not have sound on set at all. And it's so good. For this movie, if you're on a part of that, like, that trash, like, who gives a fuck, like, old Godzilla movies overdub, like, if you're on that train, this movie fucking rocks it. It's good with the ADR, like, it's barely even lines up with what they're saying. It's so much fun.
Like, all of Hummus's line, even after, oh god,
even after
the removal,
the very end when she gets undressed.
Oh my god!
It's like, even after that, and she's talking, and she's like,
talking. It's still like,
they recorded that after the fact.
Easily, and like with the hard cuts away to where it obviously does not match up. Just like, it's like, and then another thing, or just let's just cut to a shot of throw to her back. And
yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love that. It reminds me a lot of the 1970s Italian giallo films, where like Inferno or Suspiria, or, you know, they filmed the movie and then didn't like, they recorded dialogue, but they didn't do any of it on set, and then they went in and did ADR for every language, and then got it as close as they could. Even when they were speaking English in the movie, they still did English ADR. They ADR'd everything, and I mean, you can tell, but it
seems like it would, like it adds to the experience. Whereas, like, in maybe some films or certain things where the obvious ADR would, like, really pull away, like in bigger budget movies, like with like Marvel movies, where they're like, obviously that was done post, not even remotely involved.
Yeah, that one, that's very hard to get away with. If, like, say, you know, you got Robert Downey Jr. and he's talking behind the bar in the Blue Jay building, and he's like, oh, Steve is doing this. But if you got it, and it was like, you could blatantly tell, he's like, Steve was doing this. Oh, that is so echoey. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just put it in the movie.
If I could just put it in the movie, like, we've got to, like, it adds a little bit of humor to it, which we're looking for. It's a huge part of, like a lot of ADR and big budget movies is, like, trying to add, humor.
No matter
stuff.
how much you edit it, you're gonna know it's ADR. And I guess the point of what I was saying is, like, it's fun. It adds to this Poultrygeist, the ADR dialogue adds to this movie as it does with like Suspiria or Inferno. It's fun to watch it with the ADR because it's, I don't know, it gives it that aspect of like it's like a disconnection. I mean, with this one, it's kind of like a fun version of that, but with like a Suspiria or Inferno, that disconnection gives you more of like a, oh, I'm disconnected with this movie, or I'm disconnected with these characters, and it's kind of like, it kind of draws you back, and you're like, it gives you more of that sense of immersion with those ones. And if you haven't seen the 1970s Suspiria movie, please go watch that one, and Inferno. Anything by Dario Argento, honestly.
Long-time fans know that we stan Argento. We are huge Argento stans. The amount I personally talk about Argento is staggering and exhaustive with my knowledge.
No, it's staggering and exhaustive with my knowledge.
Yeah,
you're
no.
the theater bitch.
I'm good at
not bitch. You're the theater dude. I'm the film nerd.
I'm the theater dude.
I'm the one that's those. All right. So cutting all of that. Longtime listeners will know I'm a huge Dario Argento fan, and please go watch his movies if you are a fan of 1970s giallo Italian films, which is very niche in this time period. But if you liked Malignant, which I absolutely loved, Malignant, as much hate as that movie gets, Malignant fucks. I love that movie. If you liked Malignant, go watch anything by Dario Argento and you will be happy. Moving on, back to Poultrygeist.
Back to the Poultrygeist. Man. Yeah. So one pretty much thing, capitalizing on the nostalgia of 2006. Okay, so this takes place in a fast food restaurant.
I knew you'd like that. I was just waiting for all of your reactions, like everything. They drop a whole chicken on the floor, and then pick it up and put it in a deep fryer. Like all of the health code violations.
A deep fryer that's obviously not on. But I mean,
every single. I was like, it's not only is it doesn't matter because it's fast food, but just the health code violations,
which is
in general.
Another thing that was turning my brain on. Like, okay, is this some sort of commentary on the fast food industry and food service workers?
And it is. But
also, it's not at the same time. And I could not turn my brain off because it's just like, as a person who has spent so much time in like food service and fast food, like I started off at fast food service industry, working at McDonald's, which this was shot in an abandoned McDonald's, minus like the sex scenes and stuff like that, which a lot of sex scenes took place in an abandoned church. So it's fun to add a nice little level to that.
Yeah.
But just the... like I almost wanted it to be a commentary on it, but like it's still, but it wasn't because of how campy it was, but also it was talking about the circumstances, the situation, and the level of people that they sometimes hire.
Like Carl Jr. Carl Jr. Carl Jr. is this podunk racist guy that wants to have sex with a raw chicken and then ends up getting a broom handle shoved up his ass.
And they're getting after. I mean,
it's so close. It's like you told me, we're not gonna name names, but you told me you fired a dude just recently for being a piece of shit, and it's not that far off.
It's not that far off, and that's what makes it so upsetting. That's why my brain kept firing on, looking for like just any kind of like subtext and the satire, like just trying to elevate it in a way that I know it's not necessarily meant to be elevated. Like looking for just like, we're talking about like a Yale graduate filming this movie. I'm like, all right, so like we're going, where's the satire? Like where's like the stinging? Like, and it's satire and it's stingy, but it's also not, because it's so blatantly ridiculous.
It's very hard, and that is the point of Troma. That is the point of Troma films, is you have to find. I mean, it is a satire on something, which this one is fast food. The other, my other favorite one, Terra Firma, is about making movies, and then you got Toxic Avenger, which is superhero films. Like, they're all a satire on all the things that they're doing, but it's so hard, like it's so blatantly like this is in your face, this is what's fucking stupid about it, and this is what you're ignoring. And then it's the point where it's like, well, this is so ridiculous it can't be true. When a lot of it is.
A lot of it is, which is what was driving me nuts and why I could not shut off my brain like you said I should.
It's hard, especially with this. I'm glad we watched this one. Being industry professionals, like I'm glad we watched this one because like watching Terra Firma for me is the same thing as watching Poultrygeist for you, where it's just like, no, stop!
Don't pick it up off the floor. Okay, like one note. Fucking Arby
it's so bad.
Arby is bad at his job. Stay at the counter. You have your manager telling you your one fucking job. You were the counter girl. Stay at the goddamn counter. Motherfucker's just leaving the counter and all goddamn.
He's at the counter for maybe 10 minutes of runtime.
At a fucking time. At most. But because it's also so true to fucking fast food life, he has to run to the goddamn back because the people are fucking gone.
And he's gotta clean the shit in the bathroom.
He's gotta clean the shit in the bathroom.
Nobody else is
that is another thing.
That
That is another thing. Like the truest public bathroom scene ever put to fucking film. Just the reaction.
Perfect.
Just the amount of times, like when I started off at a new job.
When Denny comes in, he's like, "Oh no!"
Oh. There's some weird Vietnam reference to really kind of help you like try to figure out where.
It's still like it is like.
But then he does this whole thing is like, I'm not gonna clean that up. You're gonna clean that up.
You're gonna clean it up. You're the counter bitch.
You're the counter bitch. You're the lowest end of the fucking totem pole. You've got to clean this up. And it's just like, oh god damn it. First fucking week at McDonald's, I had to do that. Why are people so horrible to public restrooms?
I know, and I don't understand. I don't understand because I actually have a, in the back of my head, I'm like, well, these are human beings that work here, and I don't want to be rude to them. And the other end of my head is there's the people that are like, well, fuck them. It's their job to clean it up.
Which I understand. And you're not wrong.
I wish I didn't understand it because it pisses me off.
Oh, it pisses me off. You're not wrong. Like, that is my job. That is my job. It is my job description.
And it's rude. It's so fucking rude. You have to consciously be in this mindset where it's like, okay, well, this is their job to clean up my shit off this wall.
It's like, would I do this in my own? Would I want to clean up this?
Yeah, would I shit on the wall in my home? Well, I wouldn't clean that up. But it's their job to clean it up, and not even that, not even shit, not even bathroom stuff.
No,
just
bathroom
leaving your garbage or leaving your
like simple as gum underneath the table.
Exactly, it's bullshit. It's like, oh, well, it's not my job to clean. It's their job to clean it up. Why are you making their job hard? They're a human being, dude.
This is a
what
quote,
the fuck are you
quote,
doing?
Unquote public space. It's totally fine. It's quote unquote public. I don't have to worry about it. Working at a brewery, we got motherfuckers who just puke.
Yeah, no, that is the worst.
Some of them don't even make it to the fucking bathroom. And then they still like, I'd say like
sorry.
80%.
80%.
Don't make it to the bathroom like, oh, sorry.
I just fucking Ralphed.
For the 15% that actually
Ralphed
acknowledge.
by the kitchen and the ping pong machines and or the pinball machines. I just Ralphed in the back of the brewery. You'll take care of that, right? I'm gonna get an Uber home.
I got the kind of coverage that they would wish they could get in a Troma movie when it comes to spraying, because their kind of spray is localized. I covered so much square footage with this. I'm so sorry, guys.
Absolutely all of it. It's all over the floor and the walls. And honestly, you might want to close the kitchen because it's
could technically be a safety hazard. I'm sorry.
It's definitely in a little bit of the kitchen.
But I've also already closed out, so I'm gonna go home. Clearly I need to go home.
Yeah, clearly I need to go. I've got an Uber waiting for me, so I'm not gonna help you clean up my own vomit.
And we could easily do a good chunk of the movie on that, but no. Right on to the next fucking scene. Not even gonna continue. Oh, god damn it. I kept looking for so much. There's so many problems with just how they handled working in a kitchen. Hummus is wearing flip-flops.
And she's got her prayer rug in the middle of the floor. I mean, I get it. I have a prayer rug.
I mean, yes, there's designated areas for prayer rugs. I understand.
But in the middle of the floor,
in the middle of the damn floor, in the fucking kitchen area where like food is being made and prepared,
it's perfect.
It's right next to the chicken grinder.
Perfect.
Oh,
absolutely perfect. I love it so much.
Which like the most barbaric and horrifying looking.
And it was like, hey, we're gonna grind some chickens up. Okay, cool. Where's the east? Sweet. I gotta pray to Allah.
Apparently, she wasn't going in the right direction because Paco felt the need to say the Mecca is that direction.
Paco Bell gave her shit.
Paco Bell knowing where the Mecca is better than hummus.
But yeah, no, I love that, having the prayer rug in the middle, and so good.
Oh, the early 2000s vibes.
Okay, everybody's name is so bad. I mean, Arby, Wendy, yeah, that's fine, but like Humas. Wait, so yeah, you got Humas, and then you got Paco Bell and Carl Jr. Carl Jr. just the fucking podunk Southern racist piece of shit, and he's always got his ass crack out, and his
ass crack and his gut, it's a common thing.
And his lower, oh my god, he's always got he's got his gut, but also his lower third, like you can see,
like the fupa area, where like
you can see like the top end of his pubic bone,
yeah,
and like
the
pubes.
anti-cum gutters.
It's so bad.
Like,
and then he starts fucking a raw chicken.
But hey, I mean, to his credit, there is a point where he's like, hey, are you sure you want to do this? Like, he
did ask the raw chicken for consent.
He did.
Even in a dumbass B movie, this dude asked a raw chicken for consent.
And as a guy who's described as an inbred redneck,
if you can't get that, if you ask for consent.
Super easy. Even Carl Jr. can do it.
If Carl Jr. can ask a raw chicken for consent before he fucks it, you can ask a live woman for consent.
If an inbred racist can ask for consent from the partially thawed, prevalent, that they let everybody know throughout the entire film that the chicken is partially thawed. A partially thawed chicken.
He even wore a condom.
He was a condom.
Gentleman.
He's like, I insist.
I insist on being protected. He pulled this condom out. He fucked a raw chicken with a condom.
He did.
Those of you who don't ask for consent and then fuck raw dog, you are the worst pieces of shit.
Yeah,
you're worse than Carl Jr.
You're worse than the inbred racist fast food worker whose last human words were, it's not as one as one of the, what was the anti-Semitic thing he said? When they talk about taking him to a doctor.
His last words were, as long as it's not a Jew doctor.
Yeah, as long as it's not a Jew doctor. And then he dies.
You're worse than him.
Ask
for consent.
He still had the balls to ask for consent while also being like, yeah, but I don't take me to a Jew.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I'm not going to lie, man. I think he kind of got me on board with these Troma films. Like, I don't want to say that I get it.
Almost. I might have to show you Terror Firmer.
Show me some more extreme ones, but
Terror Firmer's going to be
honestly, watching the trailer for
we're gonna have to take a minute before we watch that.
Watching the trailer for Terror Firmer and for Shakespeare's Shitstorm.
Let's watch a more serious movie.
No. I'm gonna need a break. Like, I'm not saying we immediately let's just go full bore. No, like, I'm gonna need some time to recover.
Yeah, let's take some time. Let's watch an actual serious movie where we can get into the depths and
the nuances.
Study the artistic aspect behind it next week.
See how I use the word nuances? I know things more than the word fuck.
That's good. So yeah, I think for next episode we watch an actual nuanced, good artsy movie, and we talk about it with some big brain time.
I agree. So big, artsy, big brain movie. I'm thinking that's my boy, Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't even say that with a straight face.
There we go. All right. So those of you who are listening right now, please enter in the comments. What would you rather have us watch next week? The Exorcist or Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Oh, God. I don't know which one I want you guys to pick more. Oh, shit.
Please let us know, and we will do an episode on it next time. All right. Thank you for listening. This has been Cole-astic Cinema.